So Carissa has one request that we do the Denver group first, and they're pretty locked in. So we will, Carissa, but that's going to kind of start us a little more generically there. Go ahead. We're on, Beth.
Cool. Yeah, so I was just commenting on, if you haven't gotten an email from me already, you will. I am the Giving University administrator, so most everything will flow through me unless Dan gets really excited and decides to send things out. I want Dan to give us an overview of Marissa. That's okay that your camera's not working. If you can hear us, that's the best. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have no idea. Of course, my other half who does the technical stuff isn't here. So sorry.
No problem.
Okay,
No
here I
problem.
am. Thank you.
Cool. I asked Dan to kind of to speak to everyone about where this idea came from, because this is our second year going down to Ensenada to build houses. And I want to do the rest of you to kind of catch the excitement that Dan has about why this is important and why this makes a difference in people's lives, period, whether it's ours or the people we build houses for. So Dan, the floor is yours.
So thanks so much, everybody, for being here. And some of you Denver people have done a lot of hard work already, and we really appreciate it. So the reason we do this is the genesis of it is we're trying to figure out something to do with kids on GU trips. And so we were kind of, poking around a little bit. And then I go, well, there's a place that builds homes down in Ensenada. Let's see what the deal is with them. So we called them, and we were trying to kill a couple birds with one stone. So we said, what's the age limit down on your trips? And it was, there is no age limit down. And so that took care of the age problem. And so we did our kids classes, and we did have an age limit in our kids classes. It was, I think, age 6 to 13 or something like that. And so that's kind of how we started, is we were trying to package kids and parents or guardians or aunts or uncles on a trip. And so that's primarily what we did last year. And we ended up building 2 houses, and it was we were finding out if we liked it. We were finding out what was going on. We were finding out if it's real need. We're finding out if our money's is well invested. And I think we hit 9 or 10 on almost every piece of what we did on that trip. It was just fabulous. The kids, what I hear from some of the kids, and one of them is my granddaughter, is we gave them little books, so they always got their little book. Some of them have a hat. Some of them have this and that, and they're always showing all their friends, their Mexico trip. And the kids are really super excited, and it was really a great experience for kids. Now, we wanted to, well, mostly me, I wanted to expand to more homes, because down there's a lot of people that need help, and this seemed like a pretty good way to help people. So when we booked this year, I booked a year early, and I said, let's try for 6. And let's get the 2 best weeks that we can get kids and out of school and on a trip. So we picked the 2 best weeks for school kids in June. And so that's kind of where we went with it. Now, a lot of groups down there are all adults from teenage up. So don't be nervous that this is a kids thing. Be excited, actually. But the kids will be kind of in separate groups and with plenty of adult help. But we'll probably have a couple houses that are mostly all adult, because we have more adults than we do kids. So that's kind of how it started. That's where it's at. We have a lot of people on the call. We have a lot of people excited about doing this. My daughter Chris has been really, really good about recruiting, and she's got 10 people kind of that she encouraged, recruited, and sometimes I helped her recruit. And so we're excited. We have them all in one group, and we'll have a good time. So I think that's kind of it, Beth.
Yeah, Carissa's like, yeah, Dad, good job.
Yep. So Krista, what do you think? Tell us why you like this. What, I mean, it's nice that it's my idea, but what is,
Yeah,
what,
so I had one of the youngest kids on the house build besides Dee's youngest, I think, was in my group, and I think Tyler and him and Elijah, right? Dee? Yeah, Tyler and Elijah, I think, were the youngest ones in the crew to do a build last year. And they both just like had a great time. And so actually I'm bringing my 2 years younger kid this year. So I'm taking a kid even a year younger. So I think in general, GUHO does a fabulous job if you've got a foreman that teaches you fast and teaches you well and figures out what the strength of the group is real quick and delegates. And Shannon is saying yes, because Shannon and I truly, I've been on a lot of missions trips where like the women, like they just paint, which that's great. Painting's great. And our foreman, because we're tall, had us do everything. We did drywall, we did ceiling drywall, we did jackhammering, I don't know, nail guns, we did mudding, we did putty. So I think for me, it was such a great experience because GUHO's really into empowering the person that's building. And that's pretty unique to how they model this and how they do this. They also send you enough support to the job site that you can, you know, give the kids the best experience too, because they know what items are kid friendly. And so they know how to keep the kids successful on the job site also, and they have a great balance as they do it. So for me, it was a 9 or 10 out of 10 for sure kind of experience. And so, yeah, I am back for more.
there you go. So that's always the proof in the pudding, because you can fool me once, but you can't really fool people twice. And that's really kind of what speaks volumes is, you know, the repeat and the wanting to repeat. And so that's kind of the thing. So Carissa has, I think, 10 from Denver. And what GUHO does is they kind of watch your group. And if you got some young ones and you're having some fun, a little too much fun, they'll send some extra help to your group, and they kind of keep you on pace, because they realize that with the younger ones, you know, the attention span isn't quite as long, and they like to have, you know, play a little soccer and, you know, get some paint on the, you know, the doghouse and stuff like that. And so they kind of monitor you, and they'll send in the extra support if you need it.
I said, we're going to say prayer. Okay.
So Beth, it's up to you. It's on, or you're on if you, or Dee, actually Dee, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you thought? And Dee's another repeat.
And Shaylee and Amela and Elijah.
Exactly.
Because you all have different perspectives.
I think hey Shannon. I think Carissa said it great. You know, it really comes down to you know, your group and how excited they are about building, and you know, we had a great foreman that was able to come and just kind of orchestrate. You know, it's really an amazing thing. You know, you get down to Mexico, and you know, we're building with someone that, you know, English is not his first language, but he has the ability to not only, you know, teach us a skill in another language, but also keep, you know, everyone going. And like Carissa said, you know, we had, I think, one 1.5 men because Dan was on my team. So it was me and Dan.
Exactly. I was 1.5 and D was 0. That's why.
We had like 5 or 6 women and like 6
We
kids.
kicked some booty.
And we banged the house out in
Shannon,
4 days. And Carissa and Shannon had the great idea that we
Held
wanted
things
to
up.
go above and beyond and tile the floors, and we were able to do all of that in 4 days. And so it really is amazing, you know, just the if don't get me wrong, it's definitely not a vacation. we put in work, man. We came home every night exhausted, but for me it was amazing, you know, and I'll let the rest of them, you know, share their experience. But one thing that was awesome to me was, you know, Dan, you kind of mentioned the kids put in work and then they go off and do their own thing. And but we built a house for a family that had a I think he was like 4 years old, very close to the age of my son. And like Carissa said, we had a lot of youngsters on our team, but they all kind of gravitated to this young boy that spoke no English, but it didn't matter. You know, it was all about the love that all of us were sharing there. And it was awesome to see our kids off playing with, you know, this boy that we're building this house for. And I think for me, that was the biggest memory I took away, was just seeing all of our kids just interacting with this, that, you know, it didn't matter that they had a language barrier. It was all about playing and loving, and it was an awesome experience, at least for me.
One of the exciting things that GUHO does is they tie the family and they screen for real need, and they tie them into the community, usually through a pastor, and the people don't have to be going to church. They can be or they can't be, but it's local. They pick a pastor that's local that will help them, you know, as they get their new house and maybe have to adjust a little bit. And so there's some real good connections in the community. And so we really like to be community centered, and that's just a real good bridge.
Yep. So Shaylee and Amela, well, wait, Elijah, you and Kailuka did something for the dog. Kai, what did you do for the dog?
Not help, but you know, we upgraded the doghouse, like I said.
Upgraded
the doghouse. Painted it.
Yeah, you remodeled it, huh?
Put like.
You put a new roof on the doghouse. You painted it. Do you remember that? I know, I'm putting you on the spot, buddy. I get it. You can just put your thumbs up behind your mom. Kai.
Sorry, our mic may not be the best, but he said yes. He
Okay.
said him and Kailuka and his friends, they remodeled everything.
Yeah. They did. Okay, sorry, we done. Shaylee, do you want to share?
Well, I think a lot of the building part has already been shared. So I'm really an emotional person. So I'm going to touch on the gospel aspect of it, because I don't think we've talked about that yet, whether you're religious or not on this call. I will warn you that it will be inevitable that you at some point will feel spirit there, because that's what this is all based on. It is a very religious experience. Whatever you choose to phrase, you will feel it there. And we acknowledge God in all of our efforts that we are doing there. And if you choose, they have praise service. It's how we start the day. It's how we end the day. And it just is such an uplifting experience in that. And even when we're building, it's crazy that we're all so busy, but especially like Miss Beth, she like took the time in the day to follow whatever prompting she had to use an interpreter and speak to the family and whatever got put on her heart to say to them. And that was just as impactful as them receiving a new house. and just as impactful for those participating in that experience too. You couldn't deny that feeling. And so I want to make sure that is definitely talked about here. Like, you will not walk away without feeling something. No matter what you believe, you will feel something when you go.
Yep, pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah.
And Amela, how old were you when you went down? 15, 16?
I was 15.
Yeah, and I thought for sure you'd bail on us and say, yeah, I'm too cool for this. But you towards the end had that power saw in hand.
It was super cool. I definitely was not too cool for that. That was a really amazing experience that I could go and do that, especially at like that young of an age, and that they were just willing to, like, I didn't know what I was doing, but they were willing to teach me. And so I was able to learn like a lot of new things. And it was cool because I saw like my dad and my brother like really bonding with the family. Like, I saw my dad trying to speak Spanish with father. And yeah, he was messing up a little bit, but he was still trying his best to communicate. And it was really, really cool to see them be able to have like that bond. And they grew bonds. They're Facebook friends now.
Yeah. I will add, if you don't mind, like, if you're going as a family, this is such a unifying experience for your family. If you allow it to be, like, if you take the time each night, like, we would come back, and before we go to bed, we would have a personal time with our family where we would discuss, like, what did you learn today? Or what was a high for you today? What was a low? Or what's something we can work on tomorrow? Or was there a challenge that you faced today? And it just really, really just brought us so close as a family, this whole experience, which is incredible in that aspect.
I have to add one thing, Miss Beth, to what Shadi's saying. The whole experience. The minute we left, she downloaded Duolingo on her phone, and she wanted to learn Spanish so that this year, when we go back, she could be able to communicate a little bit better, and that's how impactful it was. You know, just
Yeah.
the minute we left, she was thinking about going back.
Like, did you learn Spanish? That was my goal.
I was going strong for like, I don't even know, 4 months or something. And then I ended up getting another job, and I'm like, I'm working 2 jobs now. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I failed.
There's still time.
No
There's,
failure. No failure.
No failure.
There's
Only
still-
try.
there's still
Baby
time.
steps. Baby steps in life.
You're right.
So Kailuka and James, you guys got to do something pretty crazy. What was that? Do you remember how crazy it was? Do you remember the crazy thing you did? Like, really high up in the,
Do you mean like on the roof?
yeah, bro. Tell us about being on the roof.
It was pretty fun. It was like high. It was cool. You could see like Yugo Ministries from there.
Could see the whole valley. Yeah, you guys did a good job. So Carissa's daughter got up there too. She was up there with the boys. Who else was up there? Oh, Bella was up there. James was up there. And the cool part about the foreman is that they will give them every opportunity to climb up onto the roof and put nails into the tiles and just have that full experience of building a house. I think Elijah and James both put it really well at the end. They're like, wow, so this is what it takes to build a house, and really deeply meaningful for all of us. I mean, we knock it out in 4 days, but I think the elbow grease and the love that you put into it, it just is, it's something you're doing for a lifetime for somebody. And the people we go down to help, as Dan said, that they're screened. But the other fact is that some of them, well, most of them, all of them don't have regular plumbing. They're lucky if they have a power cord from some transformer that comes onto their property. And then the family that we built for, they had a spigot and a hose, and that was their water. They didn't have a bathroom inside the house. we'll be giving them, more of a permanent bathroom. And when we go down and when we build the houses, we'll have, a bathroom outside of the house. So we're making a huge difference in people's lives. They maybe had a roof that was made with a blue tarp, and everybody's seen those blue tarps, right? And then maybe they'll have a piece of siding from some leftover, other house, or it'll be pieces of aluminum, and they've done what they can and what they've made do with what they have. So for a lot of them, this is a huge deal. Many come from the interior of Mexico seeking a better life in Ensenada, and they discover that all they can really have is a dirt plot, and it's a tough life, and it's not easy. And you will find, without a doubt, that even you just spending time painting on their behalf or just talking to them, like Shaylee said, through an interpreter, you're getting to be Christ's hands, feet, and heart. And even as Shaylee said, whether you're no matter your walk of faith, you just have this huge opportunity to not just bless them, but it's like this great exchange, just of generosity. And isn't that what we teach right through GU, is that expression of generosity? Okay, thanks. Sorry, I'm the last one in the building. So just wanted to share, a little bit of that. Dan, do you want to do what we're going to build, or?
Sure, if I can get it to come up on my computer.
I have it. Does anybody have any questions so far? We've kind of just talked about, things we've experienced. Anybody else that went on the trip want to share? Shannon, maybe?
Sorry, James is like running in and out, but he's super
That's okay.
excited. He wears his GUHo hat every day, everywhere, even to middle school now. Yeah, everybody said I would agree with everything, but I was just really impressed with how they really taught us. I mean, I thought we were going down there and some days or kids might have just been like moral support, but kids were up on the roof, they taught us how to do everything. And that was really empowering. So I think someone else used that word also. And the time spent with the family and the pastor, and even just the setup when you get back, that you are with other people that have given their week up to come down here. And, the compound has, places to sit and talk, and the ping pong tables, and it's a very well-oiled machine, and they make it easy to give of your time and give of yourself. So
yeah, great insight. Thank you. Really quick, I wanted to introduce the leaders that are on the call, house leaders anyway. So you all have met Carissa. She's bringing her team from Denver. Carissa, give us a hi. Oh, wait, Dan, not yet.
Okay. That's fine.
I wanted to introduce everybody before you throw the screen share up.
Oh, okay.
So Carissa will be leading a house. D, give us a wave. D and his family will be leading a house. Kelly, Adrian, she's fresh. I was going to say fresh into building houses, but a veteran with Giving University who's led several trips, been on trips. So Kelly's coming down, and she's been recruiting people from Las Vegas. Where's my Las Vegas crew? Crystal and Hector, and hopefully a few others. Who also is not on the call is Dan Isley. So he works for our company Power Plus. He's coming back down. Gabriel is on. Gabriel is fresh to home building with GUHo, but I know Gabriel's done many mission trips and done many things. So we're excited to have him on board. And we'll have a few others. We're hoping from this point. Oh yeah, if leaders can unmic, we can see you pop up. Oh, got it. All right. So I guess your view, Shannon, doesn't let you see everybody. Anyway, we'll have another call. coming probably in another couple weeks as we solidify our teams. Right now, we're still in that wait and see mode. We've got a lot of you who've said yes, but we need to get some things firmed up. So Dan will give you some dates. Dan, if you want to go ahead now, thank you. You can share your screen.
Okay, first of all, is there any questions so far from anybody? I can't see.
No, there's no questions, Dad.
Okay, super. So these are the teams right here, and there's one team that we have 5 houses listed on here, and we may have Gabriel be the lead on the 3rd house. So it just kind of depends on how this all shakes out. The first thing that we need from whoever's going is if they're flying in, we have to know that they're all in by May 15th, because that's when we have to buy tickets. The rules at Giving University are we're happy to pay for things, but we don't like wasting money. And so if you're all in and you're going to fly in, we book the tickets for you. And then if you don't go on the trip, unless you have a doctor's excuse or something happened that's pretty serious, we ask you to refund the fare for us so we can use it for somebody else. I've had to do that a couple times. Nobody likes me when I do that, but I feel like we're being super fair because we're paying for it in the first place. But we'll look at Chris's team because I know you guys have you're the moms with the younger kids, and Chris's team is Carissa, Jordy. Carissa is. Are you bringing 2 or 1?
Jordy and Ty will be there.
Okay, so maybe we should
put Tyler right there. Yeah.
Maybe we should put Tyler's name up there. So this is Chris's team so far. It's Chris, does this look accurate as far as you know?
Yeah, I got Shannon, James, Ellie, Angel, Rocco, Leo, Marisa, myself, Jordy, and Ty. So that's 10 of us flying in from Denver together.
Is Kelvin one of them?
I am not sure who Kelvin is.
Okay, hang on.
Kelvin.
Kelvin.
Yeah, Kelvin, you recruited him, single guy electrician, Dan.
Okay.
I threw him on there just as a
Sure.
balance, but he
Okay.
was able to move anywhere during the first week on any of the houses.
I'm sorry, he said he was good the first week, okay.
Yep.
Now he's not on the call, right?
No, he couldn't make it.
Okay. But he seems pretty good to you, it sounds like.
Yes, because he couldn't make Power Week with you.
Okay. So probably Kelvin will be on there. Chris Lee, refresh me, Beth, who that is?
An unknown quantity at this point.
Oh, it's probably one of the
ones that
I recruit the whole
out to
world.
you.
I walk down the street and recruit people. So then Beth gets to put up with like, who are these people? So basically, Carissa's pretty full up. We'll add a couple more. We'll try to add a guy or 2 to this group, and I think you guys will be in good shape. Does anybody from your group have any questions that maybe we can answer?
And I guess, can we, I don't think anyone in my group, minus the person I don't know, Calvin, I think the 10 of us, Beth, are pretty like ready to book flights. If you want to move forward with that, if Shannon, Marisa, Angel, if you're not pretty like about 100%, will you give me some feedback right now?
Yep. We'll let you go until the 15th of May.
Okay.
So if I can hear back from everybody by the 15th of May, that would be helpful.
Okay.
Beth, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you want to make, this is Marisa. You just want to make sure yes or no. If you don't hear from us, does that mean yes? Or you just want to shoot you an email?
Yeah, please let me hear from you. Not just
Perfect.
Carissa tell me yes, because this is also part of, we need to have everybody sign a release form.
Okay.
Making that commitment that you understand the terms. And so,
Got it.
yeah.
Will you be
Um,
emailing that commitment form to us after this meeting then? So we can
Yes, I
start
will be.
signing
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I think this team's probably ready before the 15th. So Beth, as long as they sign the form, you're pretty good on booking them a little early, right?
That is true. Yes.
Okay.
And
Yes.
it helps us a lot because then it gets, gets people taken care of.
Well, it might cut your cost on flights too, if we can
Sure.
commit a little
Sure.
earlier, so.
So Christian asked a good question, and I know I think it was either you or Tyler that asked me, can you recruit people who are not enrolled in GU? As I have said before, we want to stick with GU alumni as much as possible. We can talk offline about what you're thinking if you'd like to, or stay on the call at the end and we can sort through that. Let's see, Julia, you got your questions answered. Thank you, Gabriel. We'll go with your first choice of the week, but we'll see how that kind of unfolds. Okay.
Beth, can you pull that list back up again?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's dismiss Carissa's team first.
Well, they haven't seen the house. So real quick, I want to make sure that we talk about the house that we're going to build and then what to
Okay,
expect. Okay.
sure, go ahead and why don't we pull it up for them?
Okay.
I'm trying to help them because they got young kids. and-
Yeah, sorry, Beth, we're an hour ahead of you guys too, all in
I'm aware of
Colorado,
that.
so
Yeah.
thank you for bearing with us.
Okay, well, we can, if you want to drop off, that's perfectly fine. We can do the house plan and what to expect another time.
Oh, I don't need to. We can, I think we're all good on the call for now.
Okay, so Shannon, any questions? And who else? Oh, Angel, how about you? And meanwhile, Beth found the house.
No, Bree
Angel?
would Bree would like you to put her name on the spreadsheet for next year. She made sure to say that.
You got it. And that's the house there, and pretty simple. Let me ask you, Angel, do you guys have any questions? Angel, are you there? I think oh, I think they froze. I think they got frozen.
They're trying to get back in the waiting
Yeah.
room. Hold on.
So as soon
I'm
as
sorry, so go ahead, Dan, whatever you'd like to do, sorry.
okay, so Angel, if you're back. And the other thing is the Denver people, if you want to stay on, we're not kicking you off the call. We're just trying to help you a little bit because of the youngsters that you're bringing with us. Angel, did you have any questions?
No, I kind of left accidentally because I have camera connected to the Zoom, so I apologize for that.
Sure.
Ellie and I, we're officially going
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure I made an arrangement in my job. So yeah,
Okay.
that's 100% to go.
All righty. Well, we're 100% excited. And Angel, we want you to do most of the work because I don't do too much.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
We'll get a wheelbarrow and you can tote Dan around in the wheelbarrow.
Not a problem with that either.
I do take
You have
some
a
pictures.
megaphone.
I do take some pictures for you guys, and I do give you nice stuff at the end. All right. So Beth, go ahead. So Denver people, if you want to drop, you can. And I think Beth, go ahead and did you want to do the house next?
If that's okay, I don't,
Yeah, perfect.
I don't want to interrupt your flow.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's perfect.
Okay, so really quick, we had a chat question and that chat question was, what do I need to do to sign up? So to this list, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to send out a release and liability form and an application for those who are new. So Julia, that's how you would get signed up for that. So that'll be coming out shortly, okay? Then with regards to the house, it's not a super big house. We are basically, it's 2 bedrooms that are on the either right or left-hand side, depends on how the house flops. You can notice the bigger larger window there, that's typically a kitchen and living area. Again, they have no running water, but they will be given a stove. If they have an electrical hookup, they'll have an option that we can buy them a stove. There is no refrigerator. Like I said, there's no bathroom, but they will have beds, and we'll be building beds. So we'll build bunk beds for the kids and then a regular platform bed for the adults. So you can see that it's a pretty big, pretty small house, 320 square feet. There are windows at the back. Dee and I had the privilege of cutting up all the lumber for the house that we built. I think this year, Amela, we'll put Amela in charge. Yeah, guys, so I see a few pop up more questions. Again, all of the things you will need to know, packing lists, extra things we can buy. We're going to be sharing those as we go along. So I'll try to touch on a few things tonight, but want to get through this. Okay, so please continue to send me your questions through the chat. We do everything. We'll put the windows in, we'll hang the door, we'll do the roof, we paint. So all of the lumber is just a big old pile of lumber. And the crazy part is I think we used almost every piece of lumber. There is no waste or hardly any waste, enough that was left over for the kids to do like the doghouse remodel, which was cool, but every piece of lumber is accounted for. GUHO does a really great job of being economical in how they, use the money that Giving University has already donated. So just to let you all know, GU has already purchased 6 houses, 6 of these A-size houses. And so we're going down to make use of that donation that we've already provided for that opportunity. So any questions about the houses that anybody has? They do lay a cement slab in advance. Day one, you will pretty much frame the house. Everything is cut and it's framed, and then we all jump in, start painting, putting the drywall in. All of that gets done, day one into day two. And if our foreman thinks we're lagging, he will push us to really plow through day one and day two to get the most of it done. I think they know that by day 3, we kind of slow down a little bit. So it's a big push for everybody to have all hands on deck. Dan, do you want me to throw up the lists or donation list or what to bring or any of that?
I think so. Let me, I was going to show our house last year.
Okay.
And
then we have the schedule too, we can throw up from the spreadsheet.
yeah, let me just show the house real quick. Let me share it real quick. So basically you see that's the house that you just saw in the blueprint. And on Thursday, you have a little dedication and you hand off a set of keys, and it pretty much humbles you in a lot of ways because you just made somebody's life a lot better, and there's no restroom in it. And, it's just tiny. But anyway, this is what we do, and this is how it goes. There's been some really creative people down there that receive these houses. And some of them do a little better in life. And what they end up doing is they kind of build around these or extend them, and they tie them in really nicely. So it becomes a bigger house at some point with some of these people. So that's kind of, that gives you an idea of what it looks like. At the end of the trip, hopefully we'll give you a little photo book and a big photo book and a little one for the kids. And so that's always kind of fun. So, So yeah, Beth, where do you want to take it on this? You want to go to the groups or? Well, let me say this, we can build 6 houses. What we're doing tonight is trying to figure out how many we can really do. And it's either going to be 4 or 5. And then the extra house or 2 that we don't build, we'll probably keep and have more groups go down the line, because Mr. Bray, our our GU owner and all that, he'd like to see us build 12 houses a year. And so we have plenty of room to do more trips. I have people all the time say, oh, if we were only going this week or that week. So I'm telling people that are leaders, they said, well, find 8 people or 6 people and get a date, and we'll figure it out with you.
Yeah.
Because I try to take away the excuses, because I'd rather have people just say, I don't want to build a house. It's not, this isn't me. But anyway, we have a lot of freedom and a lot of ways we can go with the houses.
Yep, agreed. I'd like to throw the schedule up and then talk a little bit about what you can expect, and then we'll wrap it up. I'd like to get out of here, by 7:30. If you end up having, or at half past the hour, if you end up having more questions, you can stay on at the end and we'll try to answer them. And just to reiterate, an email will go out to everyone who hasn't already signed up. If there's an interest there, or of another GU alumni that would be interested, please, share the idea with them. But let me know. You can go to send me an email at info@givinguniversity.org, and we'll get whatever out to whomever needs it.
Hey, Beth, I had a question. What's the fee for that GU pays for the students? What's that fee?
It's $225 for the week
Okay.
for a child and $250 for an adult.
Okay. So just so you guys all know, on your if you do repeat trips on this, we pay half of the repeat trip. Sometimes if you're one of our leaders or you're driving a van, we'll cover the whole thing. But I just wanted to give you a feel. If this is your first trip, you don't pay anything. You buy me a couple tacos, but that's really it. So basically we cover it. But I just wanted you to understand it's really modest. The houses are paid for. And even if you're going a second or third time, it's $125 for a week. So it's real fair. But go ahead, Beth, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Good points. So as you can see, we have everybody fly in or gather from wherever we're coming from. If you're flying in, we bring you to San Diego and we send a van and pick you all up. From there, we head across the border. We try to arrive by 3, if not sooner. We got there a little late last year because we didn't plan very well for the traffic. So we'll probably head out sooner to get across the border in time. So Sunday night is really Sunday's our travel day. We'll get there and arrive, get our things put away into our rooms. And so just so you know, this is kind of like summer camp. That's the best way I can describe it. There are rooms that you'll share with your family or bunk with guys, girls with girls. Get ourselves situated. We have the opportunity to have dinner with the families. All of the meals are served family style. So you'll go into the cafeteria type place and you get into a line and then you get your food as you go through and everybody sits together family style. After the dinner, we'll have a chance for orientation just to kind of get a lay of the land, what to expect, what will happen, when you have to get up, when is breakfast, that sort of thing. Anyone who's leading a team goes off to have a construction meeting so that everybody's clear as a house leader, a house build, what their expectations are for you as a leader. They do chapel 2 times a day, 1 in the morning, as Shaylee talked about that a little bit. It's optional, but it's a great way to start your day and a great way to end your day. So for the first night, Sunday, chapel and then lights out, because we'll be ready to go pretty early. We'll do breakfast and then we'll hop in the vans and go down to our site for the first day. They bring us lunch on site.
And Beth, let me make one comment. On chapel, we do make it optional, except you have to go one time to one of them. Is really a light requirement. So we kind of let you pick which one you want to do. We just ask you to go one time. We realize we have church people and unchurched people. And so we give you a lot of freedom and we do things kind of as a group. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure you knew there was a little bit of expectation there.
Yep. So the green areas are the times that were spent on site. We do let you have a break. You get to have a potty break. There'll be a porta potty on site. It's always, suggested that you drink lots and lots of water, bring your sunscreen. We'll get back to base. Some people like to do showers. Some people just want to take their shoes off because their feet hurt. And then we'll head in for dinner. If we are fortunate again this year, there is a big meeting room in the building that we get to stay in. And so Dan put a plan in place that every night would be something different. So we do movie night, we do game night. Shaylee was good enough last year to put games together for the kids, which is a real blast. Then we'll have option to go visit the church where the pastor and the community is, where the people go to church. That's a really cool cultural thing to kind of get a feel for what that's like. Movie night, like I said, game night. Last year we hit the beach one night, which was cool. One of our home build volunteers who comes in from, where's Chuck from? Georgia, Mississippi?
Yeah.
From all
Those are all the same. So one of those.
people from all over the country come in and volunteer for their summers to do this and help build houses. It's really cool. So last year we had a guy named Chuck who was on one of our houses and he took us down to the beach. And that was a really cool way to kind of end our time there. And then quiet and lights out. And they're pretty serious about lights out and quiet so that everybody gets some good sleep. Dan last year brought coffee and hot chocolate and Keurig and creamer, because that's what Dan is all about. And then we got ants. And so one thing we have to be mindful of is ants, and the ants are serious. They will get into absolutely everything. So that's a big fun, oh, don't bring that into your room thing. Yeah, so that in a nutshell is what you can expect. So Friday, we're done. We have handed over the keys at the end of the day on Thursday. And then we basically have breakfast, pack up and head out. The cool thing on that last day is that anything that you have brought that you want to leave behind for families, they love it. They'll give out donations to the families, keep it for whatever else. Quite a few people left half of their suitcases there, or their blankets and the things that they brought. Even the clothes that you worked in can get left behind and they'll get washed and used. We'll also have a list of suggested donations if that's something that anybody wants to bring donations. And then extras. We'll have a chance to give the families extras. So as we get closer, we'll start to get commitments from all of you as to what you'd like to buy. Like last year, I don't know if was you, Carissa, that bought both of the outhouses? No, she's dropped off.
No, she's there.
I'm here. Did I?
Somebody bought
I
both
don't know,
houses.
probably. I
Yeah,
don't know.
probably.
That was Dan. That was Dan Isley, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan might have done that. I think I picked up a few other items. Basically, what's helpful is for GU to know if you know that you want to pick an item to donate, pick an item or two that your family wants to donate. There's a few people that can be flexible with their donations, I guess. And so one of the things that I came back to GU with is said, I want my house fully funded. So let me know once people make their donations where more donations are needed.
Right.
I had a little bit of flexibility with how much I wanted to give and what I wanted to give. So if you know you want to go and you know that you can give and you have certain line items that are important, kind of telling your team what you want to pick and what you want to give is really helpful for you to fully fund what you want to fund on your house.
Yeah. And this is from last year, so I'm not entirely certain that our prices are going to be the same. My guess is might not be. The good part about it is that, we don't have to know the day we leave, but definitely the second day that we're in, they're going to want to know what we want to fund. So it's good to know in advance if you've got something on your heart that you want to fund, that you let me know, and I will send an email out about that. If the things that you see on there, well, what about this or what about that? Why not more of dining? Why not dishes? So Amy last year brought down extra dishes. There's always the option to give them more than what's on this list. This is just the basics. There are some groups that, and I will share this with in an email, some groups that, come down and actually build, garden boxes. Churches who come down every year, do a little bit more. So, be considering that. It's not an obligation. It's optional. It's something that maybe you feel like you want to do that for them. As soon as I give a commitment back to GUHo, which will be in the next week or so, we'll get assigned our families. So we will know who's going to be building with whom, the families down there. And so you'll get a chance to get to know them through their biography pages. And you'll know how many kids they have, what things they might need, where they've come from. And that'll give you a chance to get a bigger picture of who you're serving.
We most likely won't, I think Dee might have left the call. Oh no, there you are, Dee. The reason that I ended up buying flooring, Dee mentioned this in this meeting, is because we did not take care of our cement floor super well because we were missing drop cloths. So now that there's a few of us that have actually built these houses, we can work hard to kind of do a little mini prep before to let you guys know kind of things that are important as you're building. Yeah, we didn't understand and weren't quite told. This build goes very, very fast.
Yeah.
And because of the language barrier and because you're navigating a bunch of people that are learning things, it's easy to miss a detail like spilling paint all over their cement floors or being careless while we were painting actually was going to impact their flooring in their house forever on accident. So something like that, Beth and I can talk about, and we can talk about right the day before we build of the why. You might not have, I didn't know that. So nobody on our team knew that until it was too late. And so we will discuss getting enough drop cloths to the job sites, and I will donate drop cloths versus donating flooring.
Yep.
Things like that I think this team learned because it was our first build ever last year are just ways that we can respect what we're building for them correctly while even we're building, and with knowing it, once we've done it, we can do it even better this year.
Yep. Here. Instead of scraping everything off the cement with putty knife.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work. We had a few much too paint on our flooring.
Yeah. So I think if anybody has questions, please ask away. Otherwise, I think we've covered most everything that you might need to know basically as to whether or not you really want to commit to this.
Why don't we have a few stay on the call, Beth, like Kelly and maybe Gabriel, and just because we're a little thin there.
Sure.
And we can kind of sort through it a little bit.
Okay.
Also, Christian, you asked the question, can you recruit? The answer is yes. It may not be for this one. However, if it is for this one, I'd probably make give them a deal instead of 250, maybe 200 or 200 or something like that. But we have to know pretty quick. The other thing is you can recruit for a trip down the line. And if you get 7 or 8 people, like I was saying, and you pick a date, we can pretty much probably do something. So I hope that answers your question. And because I tell you what, I appreciate people that recruit. You got the heart. And so we try hard. In fact, as I just did a trip, I'm still tired actually. And I was bringing people that hadn't gone through GU and kind of working out special things. But they also are going through class now. So, as people, I kind of figured they wouldn't burn me. So hopefully that answers your question. And so, yeah, I think Dee, you're pretty good with your group, right? Pretty much.
Actually, Dan, I was hoping that you could pull that list back up because I think there's a couple people on that list that are not coming.
Okay, so let me have you stick around.
All right. Hey,
I'm
Mark,
trying,
stick around as well.
what's that?
Mark,
Said Mark, stick around as well.
Okay, Mark can stick around. And Christian, if you want to stick around for a little bit, that'd be great. Everybody's still welcome. I'm really sensitive to people's times. And Peggy, if you and your husband, what's your name? I
Tim.
called you.
Tim.
Okay. If you want to stick around, fine, or if you want to get a hold of us tomorrow, that's fine too.
Can you stop the recording?
Oh, sure. So recording, we're done with you. And this is one of the best things you'll ever watch.